Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Well, yesterday were alright to do. we had to get up at 5:30 yesterday morning because Tracey had to be in St James's Hospital in Leeds at 7 o'clock. So I set an alarm on my phone, and at 6:10 Tracey came into the bedroom, waking us up. We were hard and fast asleep.
She said we look snug as bugs. Really?
So
fast asleep.
we were in a right panic because we're supposed to leave here at 6:15. Anyway, I didn't have a shave, just brushed my teeth and got dressed, and I had to drive Tracey's car, which I've never driven before. She's put me on her insurance, so I needed to drive it with her outside of me, so because there's various bits and pieces on it I don't recognise. And when we got to hospital, I checked my phone, and it said the alarm was set to go off on either Monday, Saturday, or Sunday. What? This technology again just bewilders me. I've no idea. So we had a right do, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there,
We had to sit in a corridor.
They won't let us in to the ward, and then when Tracey went in, they won't let us in with her.
No, we
had to come home.
come back. We didn't know whether we'd be able to stay with her.
I was planning on staying with her all day, like.
Until she got her. Anyway, she was there until about 3 o'clock-ish or something like that.
We think she went down for the op around somewhere between 12:30 and 1:30. But I were ringing at from 5 o'clock to see how she were. They said where she went to check in. They said they wouldn't be doing the op there. They'd be doing the operation in a theatre somewhere and then moving her to a ward. But they didn't know which ward she'd be on. So at 5 o'clock I rang where she checked in, and they said she were on this particular ward. So I rang the ward, and they said she hadn't come up yet. She was still in what do they call it?
Recovery.
In recovery, not intensive care. In recovery. So anyway, I kept ringing, and I was ringing until 8 o'clock, and she was still in bloody recovery. So I was really getting worried. But apparently her blood pressure was low. Wow. So they won't let her out.
Sick.
She's been sick all night. They put the cannula in her, and they didn't put it in the right place, and her arm blew up. That happened to a pair of us, didn't it?
Yeah, it happened to me.
That happened to me. They didn't hit the vein, they put it in the muscle. So she's not well at the moment. She didn't have any sleep. She's been sick as a dog. But anyway,
I think that's anaesthetic.
I think it is, yeah. She's come through op and all right, and
blood pressure.
But there's no way she's coming home today, surely.
No way.
Surely.
Not unless they leave it midnight.
People go into hospital fitter than Tracey. So that was on yesterday.
Yeah, we've got to ring up to see if there's any where you can go see him.
Visiting?
Yeah, any visiting.
Yeah, I don't know if they even
If
have.
she wants salt, we'll have to see, won't we? Ring.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we'll sort that out later.
When we got back yesterday, we went to bed. My chest were really, my chest were really tight.
Oh gosh, it really.
I was just
upset you, haven't it?
all at sea. So I need to go back to bed and start the day again. Which we did.
We were still up for 10.
Yeah.
Weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, didn't stay in right late.
Um,
And then I took myself off to hairdressers in the afternoon.
Ah.
I've had my hair cut.
she's had her hair cut.
Not by the same lady who used to do it, but it's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once a wash, I think. Another wash.
Right. Yeah. I went up to post office, posted another load of books.
Right. Some more orders come in for them, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just waiting for a couple more to arrive.
Yeah,
They've been coming in dribs and drabs, haven't they?
I'm in a bit of a dispute with them. I've ordered 3 lots of 5, 15 books altogether. The first lot 6 came, the invoice said 5, then the next lot 2, there were only 2, no invoice, and then the last lot there were 5 and an invoice for 5. So I paid for 15 and only had 13 books. So I've told them, so I'm waiting to hear from them. I've only one book left, and that's got to go out to Paul. Oh boy. Yeah. Right. That's that.
What's that? Hotels?
I wrote something down here. You were saying it were interesting hearing about pianos. What I was saying about pianos. I want to tell you, as you won't believe how complex a piano is. They're a common instrument, aren't they? You know, you see them around,
yeah.
you never give it another thought, but the complexity of a piano is in. There you go.
Certainly move its stool.
We've got the tortoise.
Wandering he's under the stool.
He's under the stool. I don't know if you can see him. Oh.
Pushing it. There you go.
Can you see him? Yeah.
Pushed his way out.
Anyway, as I was saying, they're pianos, a complexity. Now, there's something about pianos which, I mean, I'm not a theorist. I never went to college to learn to be a piano tuner. I was taught to tune pianos by a piano tuner who taught me to listen to the beats and the speed of the beats. I mean, them were the days when I could remember things.
Yeah.
Won't get
Frank
anywhere.
were an accent teacher, wasn't he?
Yeah, well.
So he had
a born
patience
teacher. Yeah.
to keep you at it.
Yeah, he did. But one of the things, I wonder if you didn't know this, but when a piano is in tune, it's not in tune. A piano is not perfectly in tune when it's tuned. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I wrote some figures down here because and I don't claim to fully understand this, what I'm going to tell you now. But I've always known about it. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the comma of Pythagoras. Well, the comma of Pythagoras relating to a piano is this. I don't know if I can explain it to you. But you know, there are 7 7¼ octaves on a piano. And there's 85 notes. Right? Now, the comma of Pythagoras is 1 times 1200 equals 1200. But 3 times 307.82 equals 1223.46. Now this is to do with, I think it's to do with adding all the frequencies up of the notes and then adding all the octaves up. And there's 23.46 difference. It's what they call an imponderable. It can't be explained or rectified. It's something that exists in a piano. And when you tune a piano, you have to dissipate that 23.46 difference throughout the scale of the piano. And what you have to do is you have to slightly flatten the bass as you go down the bass and slightly sharpen the treble as you go up the treble. It's called octave stretching in order to compensate for that 23.46 difference. Now, I don't know how better to explain that to you because, as I say, I am not a theorist. I didn't learn the theory of piano tuning. I just went straight in on the practical end. So all I did, I know the difference by listening, by ear. And I was compensating all the way down.
The keys.
You keep checking the speeds with fifths and tenths as you go down the octaves. It's a very complicated thing, but I mean, if you think that's complicated, you ain't heard nothing. I mean, I can tell you things, and if you're interested, I will. I mean, I don't want to bore you with it, but the complexities of the construction of a piano are absolutely amazing. Okay, well that's that. The other thing, I went last night and I looked at an old video that I made. It's only had 35 views.
Oh, right.
I made it, must have been a year or two ago, I don't know. And it's called Pastel Demonstration Stage 1. So if you type that in to the search bar, Pastel Demonstration Stage 1, it shows me starting a drawing of Rodley, the canal down there.
Oh.
And it's stage 1 of a drawing. There's 3 stages to it, to doing a pastel drawing of the canal down right by the boatyard there. So if you're interested in having a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is that. I'm going to read the last letter.
Is it the last?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Heck.
The last letter.
Mm.
Taking about a year.
To read all these letters, was it?
This was written on this was written on the 8th of April, 1968, and it's written by Pat. Dearest Trevor, you want to be careful you don't fall off the top of your tank. I put in brackets, there must have been another letter from me by the sound of this letter, but it's missing. It's a miracle as many letters as this survive. It is, yeah. Yeah, I must have fallen off or something. Or might have been about that lad that...
Oh, pulled his finger.
Are the army expecting someone to run off with the radio, or are you listening to see if anyone needs help with the war they have to fight? Totally without any comprehension. You mean you just drove around and around Area G all day, love? You should have been in your glory, because that's all you like about the army, is driving your tank. You should eat more carrots. They help you see in the dark. Taking the piss here.
I'm not upbeat, I'm being truthful. That's what he wrote on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did.
She's taking the piss in brackets.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
You must be half asleep because I can't read half of what you wrote. Really? I'm sorry, Trevor, I thought you were being funny because I had taken my time in saying I would come out to you. So I hope I didn't get you mad with my letter. And I do admit you have tried your hardest to get me out there. I sure did. Yes, you're right. That is the reason we got married. You are very much like me. You like to hear me say I love you and reassure you over and over again. Well, so do I. But I guess most of the time I just can't get myself to say it. Really timid little thing, wasn't it? Still is. I do respect your decision, and I know you're right, but there is no need to get all huffed about it and order me to do something I already intended doing in the first place. No, Pat, you wouldn't have done it if I hadn't pushed. I put in brackets. I am glad you're pleased. That's all I want, and I'm glad you're not mad with me. I will let you explain, as that's just what I want you to do. I guess I am doing just what I don't want to do. That is, getting snappy with you. I'm sorry, it's just it seems so far away to when I will see you again. You have your work to take it off your mind, but I am at home and so is Mam. Not that she is all that bad about me leaving her, but I always feel like turning around to her and saying I won't go. Don't worry, I won't. I just can't wait to get away, but I do feel sorry for Gran, as she is left with the lot. Even the money Mam owes is in Gran's name, but I can't do much about that, can I? Financial situation was terrible. We finished up having to clear it all. Anyway, that's all for now. Lots of love, Pat. Oh, so I've wrote a load here now. This isn't from Pat.
It's just what you've written.
What I've written. Pat's mother didn't give up trying to stop Pat from coming back with me. Pat and I went back over land and sea. It took 24 hours. Pat was exhausted, and when she saw the flat, she burst into tears because it wasn't what she was expecting. But in no time she made friends with the other wives and loved the open-air swimming pool in Hermansburg. We had a great social life and we were very happy together. Pat's man caused me no end of trouble, phoning my OC and telling him all sorts of stories about me. One day the OC called me into his office to tell me my mother-in-law was on the phone saying she was dying. He wanted me to take compassionate leave, but I refused, saying she's always trying to get Pat back again, but she's not going to. The next stage in this story is the letters from Pat's mum to us, all of which I ignored, and letters from my parents. Wow. Wow. I've put here, I can't put these letters in here. They're too distressing. I developed such a hatred for Pat's mum, I just would not listen to her. She begged to come and see us, but I wouldn't have anything to do with her. She said she was dying, but I didn't believe her. September 69, she died without seeing us. Can't finish this. It's too depressing. So I never put.
So she cried wolf that many times that when she were actually dying and she were trying to get
She were always
us back. We didn't believe her.
No, we didn't. She was always saying it.
Which is very distressing, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I would have wanted to see her.
Yeah.
But Trevor didn't believe her. Anyway,
So
that was that.
we went back when she died. We went back, and I got an extended leave, and I got a job at my dad's laundry for a few weeks, and then I had to go back on my own again and organise my discharge, which nearly didn't happen. Which nearly didn't happen because, well, I was always in trouble. But I'd lost my tape because I got into a fight with a corporal in the corporal's mess, and I got busted for that. And then shortly after that, I was driving home to Pat in Hermansburg from the camp because I'd been on duty, what they call canteen cowboy, where you had to kick all soldiers out when NAFI closed at 11 o'clock. I drove home.
You were supposed to get a lift.
I was supposed to get a lift, but it never turned up. So I drove home, and I'd had, I don't know how many pints of double diamond. We used to call it Dirty Dick.
Double diamond.
Double diamond. Do you remember double diamond?
Mm-hmm.
And of course I was over the limit.
Car wasn't taxed.
No, it was a car that I bought. I did a little bit of buying and selling cars out there. So I really were I were really in trouble. And this come to light when I went back after Pat's mum died.
Mm-hmm.
And the OC called me in and he said he was sick of seeing me. He was absolutely sick of me, actually. What with Pat's mum ringing him up and all the trouble I were in, I were getting in. And he said, "When can you be on a flight out of here?" I said, "Tomorrow." He said, "Well, be on it." And that were me. I flew out of Germany. That were on New Year's Eve, 1969. And I flew to Chatham, where I got my discharge in Chatham on New Year's Day, 1970. And that was it. And we'd put a deposit down. The money I was saving up to buy myself out, I used that to put a deposit down on a back-to-back house in Armley in Leeds, where we lived. It's all, a lot of it's in the book. So and life went on from there.
Yeah.
You'd have to read my book to get to know what happened after. And you can buy the book. It's for sale. £14 plus postage.
Which is about £2 something, isn't it?
It's £8.
Oh, is it £8?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
According to one subscriber, it's extortionate.
Oh, right. What, for delivery? For
Yeah.
posting?
Yes.
Oh, right.
But I've spent years writing this book.
Yeah.
I've worked like a dog on it, writing it, proofreading it, publishing it. I'm making, £6 on a book. Then I've got to commission coming off of that, both from Lulu and from the merchant that processes the payments.
It's not a right lot, is it?
So out of that £22 for the book and the postage, I'm not getting all that at all. So if that's considered to be too much money to spend on the book, then it'll sit here forever, and I won't sell them, and that's it. Because I know what's gone into it and what I'm getting out of it. That's how I feel about that.
You have to buy envelopes and
I've got to buy envelopes as well to post them in. Yeah. Yeah, so you take it all off, what I'm getting, I'm lucky to get £4.50 a book out of it. Out of that £22.
Yeah.
Not
a lot.
No. So, but I'll put a link at the end if you want to buy it. And if you don't, well, it'll all have been for naught.
Well, you've sold some.
I've sold some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To people that really wanted to read it
I've
or
sold
keep it.
about 11, I think.
Yeah. That's all a bit more.
Okay, folks, we better stop.
Yeah.
So
nearly half an hour.
I know. We'll see you again tomorrow, all being well. We don't know what's going to happen today. Okay. Bye.
Bye.